Motion to open the zoning board of appeals meeting.
All in favor?
Okay.
Aye.
Okay, we'll take up first case. Zoning Board of Appeal, Town of Stoughton, notice of public hearing. Public hearing will be held in Town Hall Conference Room B, Room 301, third floor, 10 Pearl Street, on November 5th, 2015, at 7:30 p.m. on the petition of Wingfoot Commercial Tire Systems, LLC, doing business as Goodyear Commercial Tire and Service Center, represented by Bobby Kirk. Case number 4164 for a special permit under the Town of Stoughton zoning bylaw of 1970 as amended Section 5D Table of Use Regulations. Principal use is item number 13, automotive service station or garage, including the sale of gasoline, not including a junkyard or open storage or abandoned automobiles or other vehicles, provided that it is not located within an aquifer protection area, and accessory uses. Item number 18, accessory retail store of an industrial or warehouse building, providing it is selling their own product. In order to operate a shop to sell services and install commercial truck tires and offer light mechanical repairs located at 1157 Turnpike Street. Further identified in Assessors Plan 93, Lot 16, in industrial zone in said Stoughton. Any person desiring to receive further notice concerning this petition as provided by the general rules of the Zoning Board of Appeal should file a written request containing his or her name with the board. The petitioner is representative or any other persons desiring to be heard in this matter should appear at the time and place designated. Sherman Uproad Chairman was in the October 16th and October 23rd Stoughton Journal. And we have a little correspondence. Owner's affidavit. Stoughton Zoning Board of Appeal, Goodyear Commercial Tire and Service Centers, 1157 Turnpike Street. Dear ZBA, please be advised I am the deeded owner of the above referenced property. I have entered into a lease agreement with the applicant, Goodyear Commercial Tire Service Centers, that allows for the tenant to conduct a truck sales and service business on that property. Your records will reflect that the predecessor tenant, North Atlantic Kenworth, had been granted special use permits at the exact location to allow this type of business operation to be conducted. Please see the decision 3848 dated 5/11/06. Goodyear Commercial Tire and Service Centers would like to continue this type of business at the site, and it is in the process of the application. As the deeded owner of said property, I hereby advise the ZBA that I am allowing this activity to be conducted on my property. I support the application that is now before the board. Thank you for your time and effort in this matter. T.L. Edwards, Inc. Terry Edwards signed it. And looks like the letters went out to the abutters.
Motion to open case number 4164.
All in favor?
Motion to waive the reading of the abutters and take the answer to question 8 as written.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Take it you must be Mr. Kirk? Should have known you were from down south because it says Bobby. Everybody else would have put Robert.
Bobby is my name.
Oh, it is?
It is. Just to give you guys a brief history of the company, I will keep it brief. Wingfoot was purchased by Goodyear Tire in 2010. What happened was they had the retail division, consumer tire, like Sullivan Tire does a lot of that, and the commercial tire. They decided to bring all of that under one brand, which became Wingfoot. They bought all of their largest dealers. And after we did that in 2010, in about 2013, they realized a lot of people weren't making the connection that Wingfoot was actually the Goodyear logo. So we rebranded as Goodyear Commercial Tire and Service just to further identify with that company. So again, what we're wanting to do is take over the existing building. It was the former Kenworth dealership on Turnpike. We won't be doing any truck sales. All we'll do is truck service. We mainly focus on commercial tires. We sell Goodyear branded tires. We install them. We do national accounts. You wouldn't bring your car to one of our stores. That's just not what we're set up for. We don't have the equipment for it. Do you have any other questions about the use of the property?
You're not selling gas, but
No, we do not.
now are there tanks? Tanks there now?
There are 2 tanks in place that were left by the prior tenant. We don't have anything in them. There aren't, oh, not gas tanks, sorry. There's an above-ground waste oil tank.
Are there gas tanks there?
No.
We would be, in my opinion, a less intense use. We
We're
don't,
doing similar stuff, but less than what the former people.
essentially, we're a quick lube entire place for a large truck. We don't do any body work, no paint, no major mechanical breakdown. The customer brings their truck in, they leave. We don't keep anything overnight. We don't stage it on the lot. We don't store trucks for them.
When you're saying you do repairs, you're gonna repair the vehicles.
We do light mechanical. What we typically do is we have national accounts that want us, a lot of times on commercial vehicles, all the repairs are proprietary. You have to go to Kenworth, International Freightliner. We do mud flaps, hoses, belts, brake lights, trailer tape, just minor things like that. Just things that would be incidental to a quick lube tire store.
Are you gonna have a store where you can go in and,
We don't have a retail function. Again, because we serve national accounts, they don't, their drivers don't come in and pick the brand of tire they want. It's all pre-negotiated. So the accounts we serve out of this area, we have a tire bank for them. Like, they don't, a lot of times commercial accounts, they run the tires until they're, the tread to be retreaded or discarded. They don't just come in and pick, oh, I like that tire, I want white walls. It's much more predetermined. So we don't have a showroom.
They've actually removed, there was kind of a retail component in the.
On the
Kenworth,
side,
And they've
yeah.
actually removed that as part of their renovation.
How many link puts are there?
Right now we're about 197, and we're doing 20 a year. So
and if some,
busy.
What do you do with the old tires?
The old tires, if a lot of times if it's a national account, the casing, which is a tire that can be retreaded, it belongs to the customer. If they have an account with us, we collect that. We have a retread plant in Maine. They come once a week. They pick up all the casings, retread them, and then we take them back to the actual owner of the tire. If it's a scrap tire, we have a scrap tire trailer we keep on site. We don't store anything out in the yard. It is in a trailer. And once a week, that's picked up by a scrap tire, waste tire hauler, and they haul them off for us.
Tom, sidebar. If they were to store tires, what's the policy in town of storing old tires on property?
I'm not sure that it would come under. I'm not 100% sure. I know that there's stuff in the zoning code that, about, automotive, but not including, junkyards. I don't know whether storing tires, is your question is if they were storing used,
Yeah, if there was no trailer,
there was no trailer.
and they just throw them in the back of their yard, how many can they?
I'm not sure that the zoning regulations cover that, but I'm glad they don't do that.
I don't think there's a limit to that. Because what I do is, when we sell tires, we're not as lucky as he is, where he can give them back to the people. We have to keep them, and then I have a company that comes up from Connecticut with a tractor trailer, and they pick up all the old casings. But I wait until I have probably 100 of them, but they're in my backyard when they can't be seen. I don't think there is any regulation for that. Huh. Those are new.
Yeah?
The ones in the trucks?
No.
Oh, the ones out on the side? Well, that's not Windsor anymore, so. I think they get rid of theirs too, but I think they have the same guy that I have.
What are the hours of operation?
8 to 5, Monday through Friday.
Monday through Friday?
Mhm.
No Saturdays, no Sundays?
Well, we have emergency roadside as needed, but, so if someone calls in from one of our national accounts, we'll go out to them. But we're a unique business model. A lot of times our customers don't come to us. We do all of our, most of our work on the yards of the national accounts. But yeah, we don't have Saturday hours unless it warrants it. But at this time, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5.
Things are different down south.
You sure that's what you want to do? Because,
We have a different brand of Wingfoot Truck Care Centers that are on highway. Those have extended hours, but a lot of times if it's off highway, if it doesn't have an immediate presence on the interstate, we don't do Saturday hours.
yeah,
Sorry?
When are you looking to open?
Immediately. We're ready. We have another location in Braintree, which is actually the facility we're moving down here. And so currently there's staff there, and we're trying to get people hired up. This building's really larger than we wanted, but it's where we wanted to be. So we currently have 4 employees. So we're ready to staff up as soon as we can.
to do this. You really don't want to try to do anything for Saturday? Because if we put this in the decision,
Oh,
it's going to be Monday to Friday, and
if we could do that, I prefer 8 to 5, Monday through Saturday. We wouldn't do Sunday, so I would feel comfortable with that.
I'm not trying to expand your
No,
hours.
I appreciate it.
But Mr. McGrath came down on Saturday and you were busy working there, he could shut you down. Um, If you do, got me confused here. If you're gonna do most of the trucks on the road, you're talking like AAA, if a truck breaks down and they get a blowout on the highway, you go out and do that?
Yeah. Most of our work, our national account work, we go to the yards of Schneider, one of the haulers, JB Hunt. I'm not sure who the companies are up here, but they actually want us to come. They don't make money when the truck's not moving, so they don't want to pay someone to sit in our shop waiting on the truck to get done. They want us to come when the truck is already stopped, do the work there. That way they don't lose any hours.
Okay. And you're gonna have trucks come in and for inspections and stuff?
But we do plan
You
to
do
offer DOT
inspection stickers?
inspections.
There is no DOT. Mass State Inspection.
Oh, sorry, I apologize.
Um, And oil changes, and that's what you're basically gonna do in it.
We do tire
You're not gonna
service.
be doing like overhauls on engines and stuff?
We don't keep staff that's qualified to do that. It's just not one of our service offerings.
Okay. Anybody else?
You wanna do the same thing with his hours? Should his business take off instead of, 8 to 5, you said? You wanna make it like until 7, so that if in the event you get business and you open that late, you don't have him coming down and shutting you down? If you don't,
mean-
if you close at 5, that's fine.
That would be maybe 8 to 8, Monday through Saturday, keep a standard 12 hours, 6 days a week.
Good thing you're making numbers that I can change easy.
I mean, you're not obligated to.
No, I know, I appreciate that. And ideally, if it takes off, we would like to do that. And we hope it does, actually.
Sean, you have any questions?
Yeah, are you gonna utilize the above-grade storage for oil fill, changes and stuff?
Yeah, and that's a Goodyear standard. We don't put anything below ground. If we go into a building that has an underground oil water separator, underground tanks, we abandon those, do a phase 1, phase 2 before we take possession and sign a lease. So everything would be above ground.
And are you gonna utilize the existing systems there?
Definitely the waste oil tank, we would, we would check it for leaks first, but if it's in good condition, we would use it.
No question.
There's traffic going down Turnpike
There's
Street.
traffic there.
Marguerite.
Did you review the conditions in the prior special permit?
I read over it.
We touched on most of them, but I just want to make sure that you've got.
I know whenever I sent the report to Mary, I read over it, and I believe I addressed all of them.
So you had already said you weren't doing any sale of gasoline or other petroleum products, right?
Correct.
You mentioned that the retail space is even smaller, but you are still selling products, so is there less than 40% of the
Yeah, we
area?
removed it.
Square footage you're using for retail?
Would you consider a warehouse space retail? Okay, then all we have is a warehouse. We don't have anything you consider a retail showroom.
Okay, so is there product you're selling
There-
on
yeah,
site?
It is on site, it's in the warehouse. That's not something where
But
the,
it's not like retail, a trucker would come in there and buy something off the shelf and
It'd
take
be
it with them.
associated with the
Be
repair work?
associated with
Okay.
them installing it.
the
So
general
there's
public
zero
cannot
retail?
access our inventory.
I think that would be fair to say, zero retail.
And then no more than 40 vehicles on site, well, you're not selling them, so I guess
Correct.
that one doesn't apply. No junk or inoperable vehicles will be stored on site, you said.
Right.
Talked about the hours of operation and service and repair facility. And then there's just an expiration date, which will, typically we put in about, it's usually approximately a year or so, year
Okay.
plus. We try to do them in December. In this case, it'll probably be next December, and then we'll come in and see how your business is
Okay,
doing.
and so we need to come back and present to the
You
board.
just have to send in a letter that you're requesting it again.
Unless there's problems.
Okay,
You know, if the building inspector goes down there or the police have to go down there, then you would
then we
want
would come to
to,
the
you would
board
want to
date.
come back for the hearing, but otherwise,
Okay.
I had no other questions.
I don't have any questions.
Nope, thanks.
I have one other question. You said you sell the national accounts, or if somebody came in with a truck, like if I came in with one of my trucks
Right.
and I wanted to buy some tires, would you sell them to me, or does it have to be a national account?
It does not have to be a national account. That's our primary business model. We go where the national accounts are, then we try to build local book customers, which is what you would be. Depending on what tire you wanted, what position, drive tire, steer tire, we may or may not have that, just because we keep the tires that we know our main customers want. So if you came in, we may or may not have what you needed. Again, it's a unique business model, but yeah, if we had what you wanted and you came in, we would sell that to you.
That being said, so like, if I brought a fleet of trucks, you can start supplying tires
Exactly.
for them.
If you would tell me, I have 20 trucks, I want, when it gets to a certain tread, this, we would keep that in stock for you.
Wholesale prices? Yeah, you gotta try.
Yeah, that's hard to ask.
What's the wish of the board?
Make a motion, we grant us, draft a decision to grant a special permit for the uses stated in the request. But with include, what's that? 4164.
Is there a second?
Conditions, did you want conditions on it?
With the conditions that, with the conditions that he has agreed to.
So I don't know if we have to specify them. I had no selling of gas or petroleum products, 0 retail space is proposed.
I know, that said in
Do we-
the one of them, and then the next one that, when they renewed it, you came back in for the renewal, that was in there.
It said something about sale of gas.
Right,
I think that's because that's what the use allows for.
right.
I think that's the definition of the use, but I agree with you.
That's why,
Right. That's why I was
Well,
confused about the special permit, because the special permit was asking for permission for
So
retail,
we'll say not including the sale of gasoline.
right?
I mean, just so we're clear about retail, if we had like wiper blades or mud flaps, it's not a showroom you can walk into.
Right.
Would that not be considered retail?
I don't know, I mean, do you want to just say less than 40% of the
Yeah,
square footage
that
will be
might- That might be
retail?
the safest thing.
think that's probably
the
safe.
safest thing to
Just so
say.
that there's no
Yeah.
variation of interpretation of what is and is not retail.
No storage of trucks overnight, or junk or inoperable vehicles, is that right?
Correct.
You want
And-
to really say that? Or do you want to say no storage outside? He may be repairing a truck and not finish it that night. What should he do? Put it in the
That's a
building.
valid point.
He's gonna put it in the building. And if we were SOBs, we could say you're storing someone else's, vehicle.
So if we phrased it,
Yeah.
Just limit it to junk or inoperable vehicles.
Right.
Okay.
It's fine,
okay. we agree.
I'm trying to
As
just
long as it's stored inside.
confirm what you're telling us.
And if it was a
storage of
customer's
junk
vehicle,
or
they would
inoperable
require that,
vehicles.
I'm sure anyways, so.
The hours of
Point that.
operation being Monday to Saturday, 8 to 8. And the expiration in December 31st, 2016. Those would be the conditions I had here, yeah, okay. Then I'll second the motion with those conditions.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Aye.
What's going to happen is, at our next meeting, hopefully, we'll have a decision to sign. That'll be 2 weeks from tonight.
Okay.
Mary will stamp it in Friday morning, and then there's a 20-day waiting period, 21-day waiting period. But in the meantime, you can talk with Mr. McGrath, because you can probably get everything in there, and
Okay.
you don't have too many neighbors that are gonna go against it, then nobody is screaming.
Yeah, there's not too many houses there.
There's a couple.
Yeah. No, I know.
You should be all set.
All right, well, I appreciate everyone's time.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Have a good night.
Good luck with it.
Thank you.
I'll bring my trucks in for free tires. Okay.
See, now we won't have to hire a lawyer the next time he goes around.
And we have one decision. Alana wrote it, which I'm sure you all read, and there was a little problem with my walkway. So, no, I don't know.
So I just made a couple of edits to it, just based on what I had in my notes. And then I think Ilana was just, as she was trying to review everything, I think she had thought that the two parcels involved were the shopping plaza and the restaurant, when in reality there's two parcels just for the restaurant, and then on top of that there's a shopping plaza. So we just did some wording revisions, and I thought it was helpful to identify what the shopping parcel was specifically. That was the primary changes, because I think Ilana did.
So is that
a
in
good
this,
job.
or is it,
That's in this version here, because that
Did-
one, Mary asked me to review, Mary made a couple of edits based on Ilana's comments, and then she asked me to review them. And I did, but I don't think she got it before she left tonight, so Tom just printed that out.
I just,
So is that the new one?
yeah,
This is a newest
I think
one.
that's the decision. that
so
we-
what
Well, I
are
think
the,
that's
do we
just
know what
the-
the changes are?
Yeah, I can tell you what the
I
changes
think that's
are.
the one I got here.
So it was
no, it can't be.
rewording this first paragraph at the end, rather than just trying to identify what the shopping parcel was. And then rewording the way that some of the conditions were worded to reflect the shopping parcel. I think it was conditions 4, 8, and one other one. I had added the bike rack this morning when I sent back some edits.
So that's,
4,
okay,
8,
so this is,
and, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to, 4, 6, and 8, sorry.
So this is the right copy right here that we had?
No,
No, she,
it's one in my
Go
hand,
on.
Tom printed one version out. So you can compare it to 4, 6, and 8 on there, and you'll see the changes I made if you want, if we pass this around.
so this will be the one we're gonna sign then.
The one that I just printed off Mary's computer.
I'll make a motion, we adopt the decision in case number 4157 is written.
Third version.
As, or should I say amended?
No, I mean, I think that if we like that version, then we can just say as
fine.
written. Did you want
Do you
to,
wanna-
did we need to open the case or no?
Oh, yeah, we're gonna have
Motion
to.
open case number 4157.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So this one here, I'm gonna put down, no, I don't have to, we ain't gonna sign that one. The only problem I have is that 20,000 is going into the general fund, but it's gotta be earmarked for this particular case, which I think you did in this anyway, on yours anyway.
Yeah, I think in our folders, Mary had given
Ed?
us the version that had Ilana's comment
That'll-
about that.
yeah.
Number 10, I
As
think
long
it
as
is.
she was fine with it, I thought it was worded well.
Yeah, number 10.
The only thing with number 10, on that 20,000 is, shouldn't it say here that if the installation is less than 20, they get the change?
If you read Ilana's comment on this version that has sort of the gray siding, she put a comment on why she worded it that way.
Oh, that's on the little print,
Well,
Sorry.
the smaller print?
Yeah,
I think there could be a mechanism for the applicant to work out with the Board of Selectmen if they choose to go a different route, but we can't mandate
right.
that route. The best we can do from a condition standpoint is
Have them give,
required to go into the
have them
general
give
fund.
15,000, then 5,000.
Ask for 20 because
No,
we
no,
knew-
20, just leave it at the 20.
I know, I'm just, I mean, I don't want to change it, but He was pretty adamant about that.
Sidewalk to be reconstructed.
And I thought, I also thought on the sidewalks, that they weren't going to upgrade the sidewalk.
Yeah, that's in here.
Oh, they were gonna work.
Yeah.
They at first didn't want to, but they agreed to.
Where's that final edition?
The sidewalk,
Steve's reading it.
It's number
certain
11.
length of sidewalk along Washington Street.
I think they misunderstood initially. They thought we were gonna ask them to do the entire sidewalk along
yeah.
Washington Street.
Right.
This is the
I
latest
think the only
version.
other edit I made this morning when I reviewed it was, Ilana's first draft had said that the opening plan would be in place for a period of 3 months, and I added in any additional time that the police department believes might be necessary beyond that. Because I don't want to just have it end at 3 months if they're having success and we're still dealing with a lot of traffic.
Right.
So that was the only other point I think I added in. I don't think we had totally discussed it, but it sounds like it's fairly
Okay,
reasonable.
I'll remake the motion. I make a motion, we accept the decision in case number 4157 is written.
Is there a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Oh, boy, we'll have a Sonic.
Are they still under planning?
One going in
I haven't-
Swansea.
I haven't seen
Got it?
any drawings, but I would expect once this decision and the planning board decision is issued,
Oh, that's not
Um,
signed.
they'll get going.
Is the Parsley building, they still coming in front of us?
Who?
I mean, Malcolm and Parsons
Um,
still coming before us on
No,
on the
I
15th?
I think I'll probably get some correspondence from them asking to withdraw that special permit application. Their plan now is if the changes to the Schmood zoning relative to parking change and are adopted by the town meeting, they'll be able to modify their design and provide all the parking that's required under the Schmood, and they'll be back at the planning board for a special permit for a building, pretty much like the one that they presented here.
The four-story or the
No,
three-story?
it'll be a version of the three-story building with one-to-one parking and whatever the additional guest parking is. And I think my guess is that they'll modify their design. They'll take out some of the commercial space to provide, I think all they would need to do is provide 3 additional parking spaces, and then that have the parking that they needed. If they don't, if that zoning doesn't change, I think the whole concept of a mixed-use building there is toast. I understand that they don't own the property, but they have a purchase and sale agreement that they need to purchase it. So I would guess if they don't get a mixed-use building there, they'll be I would imagine doing a replacement one-story commercial building with no parking under the underlying zone.
Okay, we have a piece of correspondence. This is from Town of Stoughton, 10 Pearl Street, Stoughton, Mass. Building and Zoning Department. Chairman Epro, members of the Zoning Board of Appeals. It's from Tom McGrath. Proposed zoning amendments. Dear Chairman, members of the board, I would like to able to state the special town meeting scheduled for November 18th that the ZBA supports the proposed zoning amendments as published in the warrant. To that end, I respectfully ask you to take a formal vote of the board and recommend that the town meeting approve the warrant article to amend the zoning. About the word B. Yours truly, Tom McGrath. Is there a motion? They want to make a motion on that?
I make a motion that we vote to authorize the building commissioner to, for agreement in the zoning amendments at town meeting.
To authorize that the board
Authorize it,
agrees?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is that?
Good, thank you.
And we have, Villages of God at Highlands on the surety. I don't understand this because I guess my old type of addition doesn't work. But this is from the Villages of Goddard Highlands, 10 Owl Drive, Sharon, Mass. October 8th, 2015. Town of Stoughton Zoning Board of Appeals, Mr. Sherman Upro, 10 Pearl Street, Stoughton, Mass. The Villages of Goddard Highlands. We'd like to request the release of the funds for the following items. Concrete bounds, $6,660. As-built, $5,000. Street signs, $1,750. Thank you, Amy Hughes. Then I have the engineering department, and this is in regards to the Village at Goddard Highlands, request for release of surety. Dear Mr. Upro, the engineering department has received a letter of request to release the surety funds from the Village of Goddard Highlands. The applicant dated October 8, 2015. The applicant has requested the release of the surety funds for the following items: 32 concrete bounds, 33 as-built, and 40 street signs, along with any configuratory release of allowable. See attached estimate of surety bond for the Goddard Highland subdivision total, Phase 1, remainder roads A through D, Stoughton, Mass. Estimate. Upon inspections, item 32, 33, and 40 have been satisfactorily installed. 32 is the concrete bounds, 33 is as-built plans, 40 is street signs. Specific items 28, 29, and 37 remain subject to the pending field corrections. Continuity funds totaling $75,345 for the Phase 1 will remain until these remaining punched list items are addressed. Pre-town of Stoughton subdivision regulations, $30,000 will be withheld for a period of 3 years as a final surety for the road. The amount of $8,410 is recommended for release. Please refer to the attached letter of request from the applicant and the updated estimate dated October 13, 2015, delineating the amounts of release and remaining totals of tabular form. Michael Nolan, staff engineer. Now, when I add up the three, I get 12, 13, 350.
Which one? Yeah, but this is the one that they're recommending. This is the recommended.
Yeah, but it's still the same, it's still the same things. They're asking for the concrete bounds, number 30.
Table, yeah.
Yeah,
There is
it's
an
the 5
overpayment
grand.
of 5,000.
Oh, they took the 5 grand out?
Yeah, which is 8410.
Okay. I didn't read into it.
Yep.
That's my fault.
Yeah, and it's got a note that the overpayment of $5,000 was made on a previous estimate, reducing the amount
Oh.
released by 5 grand.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion for 8410.
I make a motion that we recommend releasing $8,410 for release on bonds for Goddard Highlands.
All in favor?
Aye.
Should have read further. Guess the next thing is I'll entertain a motion.
To adjourn, so moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.